Welcome to our channel. In this video I would like to walk you through our best garden practices. Soil preparation is one of them, one of the most important steps for us. All the waste wood, or like you call reclaimed wood, I put little wire mesh, staple them, and then make two composting bins. One composting bin is active, another is the passive, in the sense, in one composting bin I keep adding some of my garden waste or our house waste, and then the second one is already working on the composting. Generally, the big composting bin, I put all my garden waste. Example is like a lot of squash vines, twigs. I also put a lot of food scrap. Sometimes we go to the horse ranch, we get a couple of bags of horse manures, and then we put it here. We also go to camping couple of times in a year, and we get a lot of wood ash from there, and we just mix it here. Wood ash is a very good source of potassium. So what happens is basically we mix everything in this compost bin and let it rot. Occasionally we also put a little bit water as well as some soil as like active ingredients, or sometimes the unfinished compost, or a little bit compost from Home Depot or Lowe's I buy, and just mix them together and let it rot. Once everything is good, putting in the compost bin, you just need to keep tilting here and there, but it's not necessary because the mother nature takes care of everything. Once the compost is ready, I take it out from the compost bin, and then I remove all the twigs. I just turn it off, and the twigs and other stuff which is not rotten enough, I put them back to the bin. So this process I repeat every year, maybe twice a year. So that produce like 30-40 bags or maybe 50 bags of compost. These are very high quality compost. It has a lot of earthworms in it, so you can also say it is very much very close to the worm castings. Uh, Technically, I don't see the earthworm eggs and I don't understand them, but what I know is uh, the 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 worm casting or the compost which I make from my own garden, they produce very good results. so these so these so these compost, the freshly prepared compost I mix with the soil during the spring season. So basically, before I start the baby plants, or before I start the seeding, I put this fresh I put this matured compost with the soil, and then plants really takes off from there. It's very healthy for the plants. Based on the plant leaves, I can see that these composts are very high quality compost. This part of my compost is fresh, all the house waste, mostly fruits, vegetables, some kind of smoothie and everything. And that was not rotten enough because of the not enough heat in the winter, but that is good enough for me to take it out from the second compost bin and just bury inside the soil. So what I'm doing here, first I'm tilting the soil, removing all the weeds, because weeds are very bad for your garden. They are pretty much like a crop. They take all your vitamins, nutrients from the soil and make the soil weaker. I also tilt the soil because it gives good oxygen to the soil. Also a little bit sun exposure, straight sun exposure to the soil, that does some magic. So what I do is the unfinished compost I bury in the soil, and then put some kind of cover or something on the ground. And this I do before the spring. So right now is almost end of January 2023, and I still have like almost 1.5 months to start doing the planting. So what I do is, this unfinished compost I bury in the ground, I cover the ground, make sure I put some kind of black cloth or something, or at least I keep moving some of the weeds so the soil is ready to go. And when the spring comes, it's my seeding time, or it's my moving the baby plants in the soil. Then I add one more layer of finished compost together. It makes a magic to the plants. This is a little bit hard work because you have to bend a lot. Also, there are some drip irrigation stuff, so you gotta remove it off. I put it in a right place, and then remove all the weeds, and then put everything back in the soil. Also, around also this part of my garden, I have my neighbor's um, very thorny flowery bush. It produces a lot of good pink flowers, but it also blocks the sunlight coming to my garden, so I trim them off. Technically, uh, I should try to remove the roots from the same plants coming to my garden, because they don't do enough to their plants, so their plants roots keeps coming to our garden area and keeps sucking all the nutrients. But I don't have much control over there, so what I do is, I just put some I just trim the plants, and then make sure I tilt my own soil. If any roots coming, then just clean it up. So here I'm just removing all this the unfinished compost. They are smelly, they are dirty. Kids call them yucky, but this is how the mother nature goes. The earthworms love it, and they are our recycling agents. They just finish everything and give back to the garden a good soil. So once I clean it up, the soil looks like this, which is ready to go in next 1.5 months. In past, I did a mistake. I put some spinach and chard, and I thought that is gonna remove all the things. And then when the summer came and I put the squash plant didn't take off, because chard and the and the spinach, they suck out a lot of nutrition from the root, from the soil. So I figured out that you do one crop at a time rather than you do two crops, and then you end up losing the soil nutrients, and you have to top up with a lot of different fertilizers. So here I'm removing this the big stems of these bushes that give us enough sun, like maybe 5 hours a day. That's good for the squash plant. So this area I don't have enough sun coming, so I let the plant grow vertically. That means the squash is the best way to grow, and they just go to the wire mesh, and they just keep producing a lot of squash. We also use some other fertilizers like organic fertilizers, some Epsom salt, and that we add it to the soil when the blooming time comes. Before that, we don't need to do it. And thanks for watching. If you like our videos, please subscribe our channel. This is important. Thank you very much. Bye.